Do you not love the emotional wave of being a college football fan? Do you not love the emotional wave of being a Colorado Buffaloes fan? Before I get started, man, I just want to shout out all the Alabama Crimson Tide dummy fans out there. I was right. You were wrong. You got egg on your face, man. I told you he didn't want to play for Alabama. Nick Saban's not coaching Alabama anymore. And what do you see? What do you see today? Alexander Ward? Shocking. Shocking. To be honest, with how bad we've been playing over the last couple of games, I didn't think that we would get news like this anytime soon, guys. But this is a nice momentum builder as we get into the offseason here soon. Alexander Ward, 4-star athlete. I think he's a two-way player, or potentially could be, over at IMG. His brother is committed at wide receiver, Christian Ward, for the 2026 class. Alexander Ward is our first class of 2027 commit, and this is big. One thing that Coach Prime has done well has been recruiting brothers, right? So to me, this is not a surprise that once Christian Ward committed, yeah, you had to keep your eye on Alexander Ward. And you know what he does? He decommits from Alabama. Suck it, Alabama fans. And he commits to the Buffs. It's a beautiful thing. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, now before I dive too deeply into this, you're probably wondering, Dave, are you back in believing with this group to recruit? Absolutely not, man. David Kelly, gotta go, dude. You gotta go. GM, you gotta go. The entire recruiting staff, you got to go, including Corey Phillips. I don't care who's responsible for this commit. My feeling is that it probably has to do with Coach Prime more than any of those guys that I just named. That's how I feel about this. But this is a great momentum builder for us going into this offseason. And I like the positive energy right now this week with the program, okay? You named Julian Lewis your starting quarterback. That should have happened forever ago, but we're finally here, right? You get a nice commit in Alexander Ward. We still got Gavin Mueller. Now we're playing a little bit of defense on him and Rodney Colton. Once the season ends and you blow out this coaching staff, that needs to happen. Oh my God, it needs to happen. And right now I'm in the mood to where I'm going to hope that it happens, because Kevin Mathis, you can't let Kevin Mathis ruin the career of somebody like Alexander Ward, man. I would imagine Alexander spoke with Prime in person when he visited a few weeks ago, and then probably on the phone recently. And this is what Coach Prime said, man. This is my fantasy. Sounds kind of kinky, but that's not what I mean. Coach Prime says, hey, listen, Alexander, I screwed up. I've hired a lot of my friends that suck at doing their job. It's really come to bite this team in the butt. But I need you to believe me that I can get this thing right, that I can bring in a secondary coach that is worthy of coaching you. Stay with me. You'll be the next Travis Hunter. Now, I don't know if he'll play wide receiver. I know that he's commented on it. But I imagine, hopefully, that's how the conversation went, you know. And Alexander's like, yes, I believe. Shout out to my friend Miles. He posted this on Twitter. An interesting quote from the newest buff, Alex Ward, regarding Travis Hunter and his desire to play both ways in college. That's the goal, is to play both sides in college, because I've been doing it my whole life, Ward said. I want to be the next me. I want to make a name for myself like he did, like Travis did. I want to be the second person to have recently played both sides and do great, just like he did. Yeah, absolutely. Love to hear that. And again, I would imagine if you're somebody like Alexander Ward, you got an idea that there's going to be some sort of change with these position coaches, right? That has to happen. But this is great momentum. It's showing that if this staff and Coach Prime can just put in the effort into recruiting, man, they can get some of these guys. Now, this is for a longer video, okay? But you just need to be able to put a little bit more effort for all this being a family atmosphere, right? Colorado feels like family. It's a different kind of atmosphere. You need to treat some of these recruits like their family. Family visits family. Family makes it a point to stay in contact, to go visit, all these sorts of things. We got a 4-star guy 8 minutes down the road at Fairview, and he hasn't been at all part of the CU hasn't at all been part of his recruitment. That sort of stuff needs to change. This is a great sign, though, that, hey, I think things are starting to go in the right direction. One silver lining, if we don't make a bowl game, is that we're going to have an early offseason. And Coach Prime and this staff, who's ever hired to replace all these guys that are failing at their job, they're going to have 3 weeks or so to really hit the ground running and make some big time ground up in the high school recruiting leading up to early National Signing Day. So I absolutely love this news. Alexander Ward, you guys know that I've been talking about him all season long. You can see right here, 14th ranked athlete in the country. Right now at IMG, I think he's mainly playing corner over wide receiver. And man, we need corners badly, and we need somebody that can coach them worth a damn. That is not Kevin Mathis. Sorry, man. Andre Hart, you got to go. At least both of those guys. I wouldn't mind blowing out the entire defensive staff. And if you decide to keep Robert Livingston, maybe you give him some more autonomy with hiring his assistants. But yeah, something needs to change, man. Drastic changes need to happen. And I'm really, really hoping, because that's all it is at this point, that Coach Prime seeing the light, saying, you know what, my friends suck at doing their jobs. I've gotten them paid enough. Now it's time to go make some real quality hires for this team. Now, hey, I don't like the fact that he cut them all off from the media today. Whatever. I'm not going to complain about that too much, especially if we go and get this upset against West Virginia, right? I think it's kind of coddling these assistants and these players for a terrible performance, but it is what it is. Coach Prime protecting his guys, sticking up for his guys. That's how he sees it. But yeah, Alexander Ward, this is huge news coming at one of the most unlikely of times. I got a few minutes, guys. I'll get to a few of your comments, and I will be back, soon again. Thank goodness. No Limit Soldier. Yeah, it's kind of a relief, man. Technically, T, he's not a cat. What's good, Dave? Keith coming in here. Yes, Jack Roper and Reese Russell. No offer from Coach Prime. See you shaking my head. Dude, this is why we need to get some real freaking recruiters and fundraisers in here, man. People talk about Boulder. Sometimes I feel like Coach Prime is still coaching in Jackson, Mississippi, man. You can raise enough money for this program without even leaving the Boulder city limits if you put effort into it. If you actually talk to donors and boosters, right? And with recruiting, all we're talking about is visiting once a week, making a 10-minute drive. This recruiting staff has been so in over their head. It's true. And now we're starting to see, with the lack of depth once the injuries have piled up, that, yeah, you should have recruited high school a little bit more. So, man, I'm pumped about this. Shout out to Taco Bell. Shout out to Taco Bell. This is Jordan Seaton, the best buff on the team, right? Shout out to Colorado area Taco Bells for donating $500,000 to CU athletic scholarships. And we get Julian Lewis to start, baby. Thank you, Taco Bell. Guys, if you're happy about this, go pick up a buff box if they still got any, because it's been a massive success. Just go get anything on the menu, man. Celebrate with me. Get some Taco Bell, man. So, Unspoken Sports Podcast, do you think he reclassifies in 2026? I do not. But I guess that's something to consider with his brother Christian Ward coming in here. Unless it's like obviously stated at some point. I'm not going to bank on that, but I absolutely love this, man. So yeah, Teray Davis has had an offer from CU for a while. Not sure Why? Not sure we can say we aren't involved at all in his recruitment. Maybe he doesn't want to stay in his hometown for college, and that is true. But I think, like, again, this is just a change in perspective. I thought that we would be, once we got Coach Prime in, we would be getting, you know, top 20 high school classes every year, right? So I remember saying, like, when I first started this channel, like, there's not going to be a ton of guys from the state of Colorado. If you're pulling all these 4 or 5 star guys, there's just not a lot of those types of players. We got 3 years of data now to show that in the grand scheme of things, we have way underperformed with high school recruiting, man, with our potential. And I think there needs to be a shift. Something needs to give when it comes to this. And if, you know, there's been a lot of talk right now about, playing for the program, playing for the school, playing, beyond yourself, right? That's something that a lot of schools struggle with in the transfer portal era when you suck. And what could help CU with this is also like, hey, if they make it their goal to get the top 10 players in Colorado every single year, they're from Colorado. This is a one school state. As CU, you're not competing with any other in-state schools that are to the level of CU, man. There's no excuse not to be in it with the top 10 guys every single year. And then you can bring in another 10 to 15 to 20 guys from a national recruitment perspective. But that at least gives you a great baseline. We've seen that there have been a handful of guys, especially in the trenches, that come from Colorado and that perform well at rival schools like Nebraska or over on the West Coast. They end up going to USC or to Washington, Oregon. That's tough to see. Utah. So I know Alexander Ward, he's an IMG guy, which is great. Let's still continue that pipeline. But hopefully this is the start of them just taking high school recruiting more seriously, because the volatility we have gotten with the transfer portal has been not what I have expected, especially this year, coming off of a 9-3, 9-4 season. I think that we just kind of coasted, honestly. I don't think that you're getting nearly as much of. It's one thing for Prime to be like, yeah, I don't want to do a lot of travel. Some of that I feel like is justified with, how often he has battled different health things, cancer, the blood clots, all that. My issue is that Prime has seemingly hired a bunch of guys around him that for some reason behave like Prime. And they say, you know what? I don't got to go. I don't got to do it either. I can do it all through Twitter. I can do it all, and fish. I can fish as much as Prime. No, you're not Prime. You're not Prime. Whether you're on the recruiting staff or these assistant coaches, you're not Prime. Get your ass out there like Gunnar White and go recruit. Damn it. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll get to an Alexander Ward kind of film highlight video here soon. You guys can check out the rest of my channel on videos that I've done on him prior if you want to see what he brings to the table. But this is a great, great, great start for what should be hopefully an exciting high school recruitment season up until early National Signing Day. We got a lot of ground to make up. It is hard to recruit when you suck, right? But this gives me hope that the Buffs can turn things around. Like, subscribe, comment. Let's go Buffs.